A 15-year-old teenager was calmly surfing when suddenly, not one, but two great white sharks came after him. This was an event so rare that it became the only double attack on a human ever recorded, and if it hadn't been recorded, it would have been hard to believe. On July 17, 2000, in East London, South Africa, a 15-year-old boy named Shannon Ainsley was eager to do what he loved most: surfing. He had just finished his first day back at school after the winter break, and wanted to spend the afternoon doing what he enjoyed the most. From an early age, both he and his brother had been fascinated by surfing. That day, the weather was clear and sunny, with a gentle breeze blowing. To Shannon, it was an irresistible call to the sea. He planned to go to Narone Reef. Located in East London, this reef is famous for its incredible waves. It is a popular destination for local surfers, as well as those from around the world. Besides water sports, the area surrounding the reef boasts rich marine biodiversity, which attracts a large population of sharks. Excited and carefree, Shannon never imagined that anything could go wrong that day. He arrived at the beach with his brother and some friends, and they soon began surfing. Everything was going smoothly. After about an hour and a half, a faint scent of sardines began to linger in the air. Sardines are small fish that are part of the diet of many predators, including sharks. In those circumstances, this could be seen as a warning, as the fish could attract these predators. However, Shannon didn't pay much attention. He remained in the water, unlike his friends and brother, who decided to leave. Determined to stay and enjoy every second, the carefree teenager kept looking for the perfect wave. A few minutes later, it appeared. He spotted his big opportunity, an ideal wave. He paddled toward it, but before he could catch or ride it, the impossible happened. Two great white sharks attacked him at the same time. Coincidentally, a man filming on the beach captured the indescribable event, one that would later become the only recorded case of a double shark attack on human. It all happened in an instant. Shannon barely had time to register what had hit him. In a split second, he was struck with immense force and thrown into the air. One of the sharks bit his hand and dragged him underwater. Below the surface, the second shark appeared and passed close to his head but didn't bite him. It seems that the second shark inadvertently played a role in his survival. The animal's presence created some level of friction and confusion between the two sharks. Still underwater, Shannon, who thought he was dreaming, locked eyes with one of the beasts, and the beast stared right back at him. He could clearly see the massive rows of teeth inside the shark's wide-open mouth. Miraculously, Shannon managed to make it back to the surface alive. Once there, he spotted his surfboard with a huge bite mark on it. He immediately grabbed it and climbed on. But as he did, he noticed his right hand was barely hanging on. It was a gruesome injury. His wrist bone was exposed, and blood was freely pouring out. As the reality of the situation set in, panic took over. He was about 100 meters from the shore, alone, badly injured, and with no wave to help carry him back to land. The teenager trembled, cried, and prayed for his life. He knew he could die at any moment, that the sharks could return and finish him off. But then, suddenly, something that can only be described as a miracle happened. A massive wave appeared almost instantly. Shannon caught it and paddled furiously for over 20 minutes through a deep water channel. Terrified that the creatures might come back, he struck the water violently, desperate to reach safety. He could feel the salty water rushing through his exposed bones, tendons, and joints. Upon reaching solid ground, Shannon felt immense relief, but his wrist was still bleeding heavily. Other surfers rushed to his side, including his brother. Someone quickly tied a rope around his arm to create a tourniquet and slow the bleeding. His brother and a few friends hurried him to the hospital. Fortunately, Shannon was operated on by one of the best hand surgeons in the country, who managed to stitch his fingers back together. Since the shark had bitten his hand, wrist, and part of his arm, he had to wear a cast for a while. Later, in interviews, Shannon said that day changed his life, but it didn't stop him from surfing. In 2004, he moved to Jeffreys Bay, still in South Africa. There, he started a surf school and befriended a Norwegian named Christian Breivik. Christian often spoke about his home country and encouraged Shannon to go work there. 2 years later, in 2006, at the age of 21, the surf instructor finally gave in and moved to Norway. Upon arriving in his new country, He immediately fell in love with the place. In 2017, at the age of 34, Shannon had an experience he described as both terrifying and incredible. He was paddling back to shore on his surfboard when he saw something large and dark heading toward him. At first, he thought it was a shark, but at the same time, he knew that couldn't be the case. There are no sharks in Norway, he later said in an interview. The animal swam beneath his board, prompting him to sit up and lift his legs. I thought it might attack me. I could see its eye, its massive black and white body as it moved under my board, he recalled. Then, Shannon realized it was actually two orcas. Fortunately, nothing happened, and the animals simply swam away. The surfer watched as the creatures disappeared into the distance, then relaxed and took in the moment. Amazingly, this encounter was also caught on camera. Shannon Ainsley faced a simultaneous attack by two great white sharks and lived to tell the tale. He went on to become a surf instructor, inspiring his students to overcome challenges. His story is a testament to how traumatic experiences can be transformed into opportunities for growth.